Welcome, welcome everyone. It's so exciting that you're here. I actually really love teaching this lesson. I love teaching spelling rules because it's so key to reading and being able to spell. I think it's more than just spelling rules. We're just focusing on our suffix ed with this lesson because I want to reduce having too much information, because when you have too much information, you want to shut down. So we're just focusing on the ed. The ed is very tricky. The suffix ed ends at the end of the base word, and it really puts you in the past tense and your past participle. I have lessons about that you can look up. The ed, depending on what letter is in front of it, is either going to say 4 sounds. I like to say 3 sounds because I want to reduce too much information. But when you Google it or when you look it up, lots of people say there's 4 sounds. But I'm going to focus on the 3, but I'm going to introduce the 4th sound. Whatever letter is right here, it's going to force the ed to say either t, d, ed, or id. Id is the sound that I typically take out. Now your voice, your lips, it automatically changes to id depending on how fast you're speaking or whatever. So I'm just going to focus as ed, and then when you're speaking, it can move to id. We're going to focus on the first word. Let's focus on the T sound. When the ed turns to the T sound. Let's look at fixed. Your base word is fix. X. Now, if you hear the X, it says k, s, k, s. And the S is that last sound, the S sound. And the S sound, this sound, makes everything go to the T sound. Now, that doesn't mean if you see an S, it's going to say the T sound, because oftentimes the S will turn to a Z sound, like in the word is. And then if you have an ed added onto that, on the Z sound, like advise, it's going to turn to the D. So be very careful. Just because you see an S or it has an S, make sure that you're saying it. If it's the S sound or the Z sound, it's going to be st and zd. So this says fixed. Fixed. That's how you would say that word. Your base word is space. You have a spelling rule here. This is a silent E syllable. This is a closed syllable. So this is a spelling rule also. With that closed syllable, you would go consonant, vowel, consonant, but you never double on an X. And I would say it's because it has 2 sounds, the k, s. You don't double here, but here has a spelling rule and it has to be followed. Space is your base word, and we're going to go drop the E. I always teach it that way. Some people say drop, just add the D on. But I want you to know that that is your suffix, ed, your past tense suffix. And it puts you in the past participle. Space is your base word, space. We're going to add our ed on and see how this C is saying S. We talked about that in the last lesson. It's saying S, space. So this is going to say spaced. So it's saying that S sound, spaced. Now, touch is your base word. So CH also, so we have the S that says equals the T sound. The S sound equals the T sound. And this sound right here is a soft sound. These are soft. Touch The soft sound. So if you put your hand to your throat and go s, ch, ch, your throat does not move. So anything that is the soft sound is going to force that ed to say t, ch, ch, because that ch is a soft sound, that's forcing this to say the t sound. We're going to say ch equals the t sound. Checked. Check. Check is your base word. We're going to say ck puts us in the t sound. So touch your throat. Go k, k, k. Your throat is not vibrating. So the ck forces the t to say t. This says checked, checked. It's just going k, t, k, t, ch, t, s, t. That's what it's doing. You don't say checked. Don't do that. It looks like that, but don't do it. Your base word is bless, bless, blessed. So see how we have the s sound. Now if you're going to see a double s here, you know it's going to say this sound. At the end of a word, if the suffix is added on, it's going to say the s sound. If you have a single s, that's where you're going to have tricky moments. Or if you have an se, it will be tricky moments. That's the t sound. It equals the soft sound. Blessed, relax, relax. See how you have that s sound. Relaxed, relaxed. So you're just going to the t. So this is an s to the t equals soft. Stack, 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 stack. With the ed, stacked. Dice, dice, diced. D-I-C-E-D, diced. That's how you would say that. Now your base word here is crush. K-er-a-sh. K-er-a-sh. So look, sh is another soft sound. Goes to a t equals soft. This says crushed. Crushed. That t sound. Crushed. Cracked. 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 So your base word here is smash. S-m-a-sh. Smashed. See, they're all the t sound. Bless. Bless. B-l-s. Bless. And now you say bless. So you're going to have the s-t sound. The W silent in this one. When you have a WR, it means it's a really, really old English word. Very, very, very old word. I think it comes from the Greek origin. Could be wrong, but I think it does. So we're going to say ek, ek, rec, wrecked. So if you feel it, your throat's not moving, so it's going to go CK goes to the T sound equals soft. Now we're getting into really big words. This right here is a prefix with its Latin root. Advance, advance, advance is your base word. Now we're moving it, we're adding our suffix ed. Here we're going to do a spelling rule. You're going to drop the e because your base word is advance, because see, we hear s at the end, and so it's going to have a CE at the end. If your base word ends with a S sound, it needs to end with a CE most of the time, or an SE. Remember, S's at the end, if it's one S, will typically be, almost always, be what? A suffix, meaning plural. Not always, because we have the word is, and has, and this. See, is, has, see that S sound goes to Z, this one doesn't. But here you have to drop the E and add your suffix ED. And this says advanced, the T sound. Finish is your base word, fin, ish, fin-ish. Now you hear this, you see the ED? If you see the SH goes to the T sound equals the soft, and that's going to say finished, finished. Now so many children want to spell finish like this, F-I-N-I-S-H-T. That's what happens. So many children do that. They want to spell smashed, S-M-A-S-H-T. Totally wrong. That's what it sounds like though. But you need to know when you can break out your base word, bless, wreck, advance, finish, crack, break it out, say that base word, and then if you hear it at the end, you know that you have a suffix. There's many times when you have your base word and it ends in the T sound. That's what confuses so many people, because the T sound, if the actual base word ends with the T, you spell it with a T. But if it ends and then you have your suffix ED, you spell it with the ED, not a T. Now this word is, look, this is your prefix and your root, and then this says attach, attach. See, this turns to schwa. This is the accented syllable, so it's closed. So it's saying it's a sound, and this is saying it's schwa sound. Attach, attach. Because look, we have a CH, 2 goes to a T, equals the soft sound, and it says attached, attached. Polish, polish. See how the SH goes to a T, equals a soft sound. Polished, polished. Unmark, unmark. Mark is the base word. Here's your prefix, there's your base word. The k, look, k. Anything that like is a CK, a K, a hard C. C's don't belong at the end of words, but sometimes we have music, right? We have words that end in ick if it's in the end of a multi-syllable word, if it's at the end of a multi-syllable word. But still, if you look, this has a K sound. K, k. It's soft. So we're saying this is the K that goes to a T, causes this T, which equals a soft sound. So this is going to say unmarked, unmarked. That's what you're going to hear. Backed. Back is your base word. Back, back, backed, backed, backed. Lace. Lace is your base word. Here this one doesn't need a spelling rule, but this one does. See, there's no consonant, vowel, consonant, but this one is a silent E syllable. So you're going to drop the E, drop your E and add your vowel suffix. That's what you do with the silent E syllable. drop the E and add your vowel suffix. And this says laced, laced, laced. This one is tricky. Some people will say it breaks here and it says laced. Some people say it's just a one syllable word, but it's tricky. I would say I'm kind of broken on that. I'm not sure really what to say. It sounds like a one syllable word, laced, because this is what kids want to say. So this is how they want to spell laced, L-A-C-T, and then that says lacked.
And not a real word.
And it's not a real word. That's what they want to spell though, when they're like, how do I get that A long A sound? Or they want to go L-A-I-S. I mean, this would be such a hard word to spell. So the key is to know your base word. Know your base word. Drop the E and add on your vowel suffix. If you know your base word, that the base word is lace, this is a very easy word. Laced. So we have this sound that causes the T, which is a soft sound. Laced. Arched. Arch. Arch. Arched. Stress. St or S. St or S. Stress. T. Stressed. Stressed. Ick. Picked. Picked. Oh, I put picked up there twice. Kick. Ick. Kick. Kicked. Press. Press. S. Press. Remember, if you have a double S, no matter what, you're going to have that as this sound. You don't have to worry. It will never move to Z. The double S at the end of a word. See, this is your base word, press. And there's a reason for this. When you have a double S like stress and press, if you have one vowel in it, see, one vowel, we're going to have one vowel and it ends in an S. So if it has one vowel and it ends in an S, you double it. And so that is a spelling rule that you have. So you're not going to need, this is your base word, so you don't need a spelling rule for this because it's a consonant vowel, it's a vowel consonant consonant. So you just add on your vowel suffix, pressed. So goes to a T equals soft. Stitched, TCH. Let's talk about the TCH. Now we have CH and TCH. Now the TCH follows after a short vowel. After a short vowel, just like the CK follows after a short vowel, so does the TCH. The CH falls after consonant. But if you have a short vowel, Paul, do you remember this? If you have a short vowel, you want to spell it with a TCH. Stitch. Stitch. That's how you would spell that. You cannot spell this S-T-I-C-H. You can't do that. It's not allowed. You've got to go, with this being a short vowel, you have to put it at a TCH. Now you have your base word. Spell your base word first, and then add on your vowel suffix. But then this goes stitched, stitched. Race. See your base word. Drop the E and add on your vowel suffix that is the past tense and the past participle in the English language. It's very important that you understand this is the past tense. The past participle puts you in the perfect tense, and the past puts you in the simple past. It is very important that you understand that to be able to write and understand the English language properly. Raced. Race is your base word. See how we have a CE, but it's saying the S sound goes to a T, which equals a soft sound. Raced, raced, watched. See how this is a short sound, even though, look, it's by a W, and that's why this is saying ah. But look, TCH, because this is a short vowel. It's considered a short vowel. It's closed. It's considered short. So we put the TCH there. Watch, watched, watch, watched. Voice. Now look at this one. Why do we have this voice? This E is here to keep the C from going to the K sound. We can't have C's at the end of our words, especially if it's a one-syllable word. If it says ick at the end of a multi-syllable word, it's allowed, like the word music, word. But this, we can't say voik. This is voik, spelt wrong. You can't say this because that says voice. Most S's go to Z's when it's singular like this. Not only that, S's at the end like this most of the time mean it's plural, and this would say more than one voy. There is no such thing as a voy. So if you want the sound, you have to do a CE. CEs at the end of the word say S all of the time. And then you're going to drop that E and add on your vowel suffix. This says voiced, voiced. See, it has that soft sound. Hacked, hacked, knock, oops, knocked, knocked, brushed, juiced, juiced, rushed, rushed. There's your base word. Rush, rushed, wash, washed, wish, wished, pace, pace. Same thing here. This one, this E is doing two different things though. It's keeping that long, and this is keeping the C from going to its hard K sound. Paste, paste. Base word pace, and it's forcing that sound to go to the T sound equals the soft sound. This is really exciting and interesting. Let's look at this base word right here. Ask, ask. See how it has that soft sound. So you have that K, that soft K sound. Ask, ask is your base word. Now look what happens when you add on the ED, asked. Okay, when you say it really fast, asked. I asked you to do something. See how this K disappears. Now, if you speak slower, you can hear the K, asked. But you almost have to like force it out. It's almost as if when you're saying writing and writing, you have to think about it. Sometimes I think it's important to get those down a little bit better, but when you're speaking the English language quickly, that sound, the D and the T switch up. It's something to do with how your tongue moves in your mouth. And that happens right here with this T sound. See how the T's and the D's trip your tongue up a little bit, and it eliminates this K sound when you're speaking fast. Asked, asked. So you can say it both ways. I asked you to do something, but most people don't do that. Most people say, I asked you to do something, and that K sound disappears. Guess what happens when that happens? Most people spell it completely wrong. They want to spell it like this. Asked. And it's wrong. So what I suggest is you absolutely know your base word. What's your base word in that, Paul?
Ask.
Ask. And if you know your base word, you know that asked, I asked you, it's past tense, it's the past participle, I have asked you, then you know that you're not going to trip that up. You know you're not going to spell it incorrectly because you know the base word. The base word isn't hard to hear, the K sound. Ask. That's super easy to hear. You can hear it. It's very, very solid. So take the T off. If you have a real word, ask, take the T sound off, then you know that you have the suffix ed on there. If you take that T sound off and you can get a real word, ask. So, same thing here. It happens when you have the sk, risk. Risk is your base word. Isk. That is a nice two-letter blend. Isk. Risk. Wrist. I risked everything. Now you could try to force that out, which you know, if you're speaking slowly and you want to, yeah, you should try. Risked. I risked everything for you. I risked everything. Now, yeah, you could force that out, or most people don't. I risked everything. But, so people want to say, risked everything. It's wrong. I risked everything. You could slow it down and say that. Whisked. This one, though, you could hear a little bit better. Did you whisk that? So this one you can hear a little bit better, so it's not always going to move to that. Whisk, whisk. Or some people speak really fast, which I'm doing right now because I'm in a hurry. Whisked, whisk, whisked, tasked, tasked. So you can't hear this one as much. I gave you that tasked. I gave you that task. So these will move where that K is being dropped. So find your base word, find task is your base word, whisk is your base word, risk is your base word, asked, ask is your base word. Now we're moving into the D sound. D. Fried. Fry is your base word. Now this one right here, F-R-Y. Let me teach you another little spelling rule right here. If you have really small words like this, the Y at the end will say I. Try. So what do? We change the Y to I, change the Y to I, and add on your vowel suffix. That's what you're doing here. That is a spelling rule. If they're little tiny words like this, then you are going to change the Y to I and add on your vowel suffix, like what we did here, fry. Fry is your base word, except it will be a Y when it's a base word. Fried. When you have a vowel right next to your suffix ed, all vowels are hard sounds. No matter if they're long or short, all vowels will be your hard sound. So this is saying I. Fried, 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 fried. Okay? Fried. Just know that. Your base word. So people want to spell it like something like this. They want to use a vowel team, or they don't know how to spell this kind of word. How are we going to get that long sound in there? Fry. Are we going to use a vowel team? I-E-D. Or are we going to make it a silent E syllable? It's not. So you know you need to go down, down to your base word. Fry. Add your vowel suffix. Change the Y to I. And that says D. Fried. Y. Wired. So this is a silent E syllable. Wire, wired. W-I-R. Wire, wired. So see how the sound, touch your voice, and this is a hard sound. So this D is saying the D sound. So go to wired. See eyes? I-E, A-E, I. They're all vibrating your voice. The L, so let's say this. The goes to the D sound and it equals hard. The vowel is the D sound and it's a hard sound. Boil is your base word. Boil, boil, boiled. See, this L is hard. Or see how you can feel it. So it's going to force that ED to say D. Boiled, boiled, boiled. Canned. See, feel your throat. This N right here is the D sound and it equals hard. Canned, base word. Can is your base word. Now you have a spelling rule here. Consonant, vowel, consonant has to be doubled. This doesn't say canned. Some people want to read it like that. You don't say canned. It says canned. You don't say boiled. Boiled? Does that sound goof? Boiled. You don't do that. That's why it trips so many people up. You don't say wired. I wired your house. It's wrong. Fried, wired, boiled, canned, mailed. Mailed, mailed. See, this ul sound is forcing that. So find your base word and then add on your suffix ed. Man is your base word. This is a consonant, vowel, consonant. You need to double it. This is the doubling rule. Add on your vowel suffix right here. Manned, manned. See, the N is a hard sound. You're going to put it as a D and it's going to equal hard. Can't write that very well. Closed. See, look, this is a Z sound. So do you see that Z sound? Close. Close. SEs, most SEs, I would say around 80%. So if you hear a Z at the end, unless you have another vowel rule, if you hear Z at the end and you want to spell it, and it's short, like fizz, if you hear that, and it, see how you have one vowel and it's short, you double it. So same with this pressed, it's the same with the Z's. But if you hear that it's long, something like this, you know it's going to be an SE. It's going to be a silent E syllable. This is a silent E syllable, closed, and it's forcing that Z sound, forces that ED. So like the double Z, fizzed. Fizz, fizz, fizzed. See, it's forcing the D sound. Assured, assured. See, this is your prefix. I didn't write that very well. Assure, sure, the sound is the ED, assured, skilled, sk, skilled, skilled, married. See, now here you have a spelling rule. Marry, that's your base word. Now, when you're adding on a vowel suffix, you're going to change that Y to I. Actually, when you're adding on a suffix, doesn't matter if it's a vowel or not. When you're adding on a suffix, you're changing the Y to I and adding on your suffix, and now you have married. And because this is a vowel, this says D. Favored, favored, favored. So this, the sound goes to the D sound, favored. Loved, loved. Same thing here, loved. Retired, retired. See how that sound goes? Engaged, engage. There's your base word, engage. Now this is another one of those words that if you want J at the end of a word, you need to spell it with a G, E. That's how you get J at the end. See, look at this one. This says, we have two G's here. Do you see that, Polly? Two G's. And this says N, G, 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 A. And this is J, J, because it's an E. E, E's, I's, and Y's change that G. The same with the C's. They change the C. They change the C. E, I's, and Y's change the C's just like E's, I's, and Y's change the G sound. Right here at the very end. Gauge, gauge. So, because the J sound, J, J, fill your throat, J, J, it is a hard sound. And it's forcing that to go to the D sound. Engaged. If you're having a hard time, take off the suffix. There's your base word, engage. So take it off, because most people want to, if they're just learning this, they want to spell it like this. Engage. That's how people want to spell it, but you can't have J's at the end of our words. Can you have J's at the end of our words? Not allowed. So, so now you have to say, well, G's at the end, you have to spell it with a G-E. Okay, so now that you know that rule, then you want to add on your vowel suffix. You drop the E and add on your vowel suffix, your past tense ED. So that forces that ED to say D. D. Engaged. Studied. This is the changing rule. Change the Y to I and add on a suffix. Studied. Hurried. Change the Y to I and add on your vowel suffix with that one also. Labored. Labored. Pickled. Drop the E and add on your vowel suffix. Stemmed. Spell consonant, vowel, consonant, double it. So you have to double it before you add on your vowel suffix, but it doesn't change the sound. We don't say stemmed. We don't do that. We say stemmed. It still sounds like one sound, but this is how people want to spell it when they're just learning. Stemmed. Now, how do you fix that? You know your base word. Is stem a base word? It is a base word. So you know that that is wrong. You have a consonant, vowel, consonant. Add on your past tense, your past participle, ed, colored, colored, received. This is a spelling rule that we talked about. V's cannot be at the end of words, right? So you have to have a VE. That means your base word is receive. You're going to drop that E and add on the vowel suffix ED to get your past tense, your past participle sound. If you hear D at the end of a word, it can be really tricky. The T's are really tricky and the D's are really tricky because D's end lots of words. Like the word wand. Look. Do we wand? That some people have a name like that, but that's not a real word in the English language. Wand. We know that wand, like that, is spelled correctly because it's word. It's its base word. Colored, received, detailed. So you have your L. That causes this to turn to a D sound, which equals the hard sound. Detailed, detailed, supposed. Now look, prefix, Latin root, that's why these are doubled. And we'll do more doubling rules about that. Featured, featured, base word is feature. You're gonna drop that E and add on your vowel suffix. Drop the E and add on your vowel suffix. That's what you do. Drop the E, add your vowel suffix. Now, you do need to be careful when you're dropping the E and adding on a vowel suffix because sometimes if you're adding on a vowel suffix that is like ABLE or something like that, that does not start with an E, I, or a Y, it's going to mess with your G's and your C's. So be very, very careful with that. It will switch that back to saying g because it has to have an E, I, or Y. So if we say engageable, you have to keep the E there. Feature, featured, travel, v, and then ol, traveled, traveled, required. Now this is really fun. When you have a base word, gift is your base word, you can really hear your suffix ed on here. Because look, it ends in a T. Anything that ends in a T, any of your base words that end in a T, you're going to have your suffix actually say ed or id. Gifted. See, this one you could hear when I'm speaking quickly, you can hear it say id. And that's where people are, well, it needs to say id. But I feel that it's very important that you just know that it's an ed. And then your mouth will just do the work. Gifted. Because you can, people will say, well, it was gifted to me. Gifted, gifted, it was gifted to me. All right, gifted. So here, no matter what, we have gifted. See right here, people have, because you can't hear that second syllable, it's hard to say, well, that is a second syllable. But here it is solid. It causes a second syllable when there is a T on the end. Gift, ed. Gift, well, gifted, gifted. See how you hear the ed, gifted. Same thing here. It breaks right here. He, ted, he, ted. See, it ends with a T, so it's saying ed. So we're going to say the T goes to the ed sound or the id or id, if whatever you want, or and that's going to say this is its soft sound. This is soft. That's the reason why these turned, the T sound is soft. See, touch your throat. It's soft. That's why these go to soft. It goes to the soft T sound. But if you can't go heated, you can't do that. I mean, it doesn't work. So you can't hear, you have to have that T solid. And then it has the ed. Heated, parted, parted, ed, ted. Same thing here. This is a consonant vowel consonant. You're going to double it before you add on your vowel suffix. Pit, ed, pitted. Unite, unite. Unite is your base word. Drop the E and add your vowel suffix. United. Breaks here, united. United. Excited. See the soft T sound. It's saying ed. Excited. Excited. T here. Devoted. Devoted. Your base word is devote. Base word is excite. Now, we're going to go with the hard D sound. Feel your throat. D, d. It totally moves. D, d, d. This says round, ed. Ow, and, round, ed. So, if it has the D at the end of its base word, you're going to say ed. See, the D is the hard sound. So look, we're going to have the D goes to the hard sound when you're putting on your ED. Crowd. So your base word here is crowd. See how it ends with a D? Then we have the D and then your suffix ed. Crowd is your base word. So you hear crowded. Crowded. So that one is another one where you kind of hear crowded. Crowded. It's crowded in here. So whatever. Braid is your base word. Braid. See, it has the hard D sound right here. So we know that it's going to say ed. Braided. So look at this. This is where people get confused. We have braid. Is braid a real word? Or is bray is your base word? Bray is not a base word. So braid, you would spell braid, B-R-A-I-D. That's where it gets confusing. Include is your base word. Drop the E and add on your vowel suffix. Include. See the hard D there? Provide. Provided. Oh, and here's painted. I didn't get this one. This is the soft T sound, hard D sound. Soft, painted. All right, everyone, that was really fun to teach. Good luck with it all, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Take care, everybody.